Hello, hello, everyone. So, Garrett, since this is going to be the last wrestling podcast with me alive, because Irma's going to kill me in a couple days, what's your fondest memory of me, man?
Probably the first stream we were ever on together when you first picked me up for Visokii when we were playing Minecraft back in the day.
Dude, those are fun. Those are good days, man. All right. I would have to agree, though. Those were fun, man. That was back like, dude, I was hooked on
back before all the comment sections got toxic.
Back in the day. So anyway, let's talk some wrestling. Charlie is no longer with us. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think he's been working a lot.
Vacationing in St. Martin. Sorry, well, no.
Dude, whoa, hey, now, hey.
Too soon.
Too soon. Too soon. There aren't too many things that are too soon, but that's a little too soon.
Hey.
Right.
So,
Raw happened. John Cena faced Jason Jordan in what they're blatantly trying to do a little ripoff of John Cena's debut against Kurt Angle back in the day. And now Jason Jordan, putting up a big fight against John Cena. Took John Cena around. I think it was like an 18-minute match. Pretty good showing out of Jordan, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. There was one little botch in there. I can't remember on what it was, but I remember pointing it out to you. We were messaging back and forth during the show.
Yeah, it was right at the end when Jordan went for the suplex and Cena kind of fell.
Yeah, because he was like, he was doing some sort of like sunset flip move and he like fell to or something like. Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, it was just the two giant guys trying to do that move is kind of difficult, like even though they're not like on the scale of WWE superstars, they're not the biggest, but they're up there, especially when you factor in Cena. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was good. I mean, if Jason Jordan gets more opportunities to just have long matches on Raw, people will warm to him because they'll be like, oh yeah, he's actually good, because they only really remember the charisma of Chad Gable from American Alpha. If you're,
well, he was always the talker. Jordan wasn't the talker. He just kind of chimed in every once in a while. What impresses me is Jason Jordan's just natural strength and athleticism. Like, we've had some really athletic guys. It's not necessarily the athleticism, but how easy he makes some of these suplexes look. He did the Northern Lights suplex, then rolled over, and then did another one. I've never seen that suplex comboed into multiple. Have you?
No, that's the first time I've seen that. And if that's not like a signature move now, instead of the whatever it is, like the dive into the ropes that he does, and not dive, but I'm talking about, like where he runs and gets in the corner. If that's not his signature from now on, I mean, maybe that's not a move he can do with everybody, but I like that move. That was cool.
Oh, yeah, it was fantastic. And, I mean, Cena's not a small guy, so there are a lot of other smaller guys that he could face and pull that move off, and it would look impressive, So, like I said, his natural strength is it's something to behold. So, after the match, Roman Reigns comes out. We know we had great promo between Cena and Reigns last week. I thought Reigns had a stronger showing this week by far than he did last week. He came out. This was definitely a lot shorter of a promo, but pretty much he came out and told Cena, So, it took you almost 20 minutes to beat this rookie. And so either one of two things is happening. Either A, you are stringing him along just to get his hopes up and bury him, or B, you're not as good as you think you are. I thought that was a really good line. And then Cena came back making a little joke, and he said, first of all, you come out here with your fly busted, or you come out here with your fly open. And then Roman, I thought it was going to be another one of those moments like last week where he was like, all right, kid, you've been here. You've been in the main event for 5 years. About time you learn to cut a promo. Something like that. Instead of Roman flinching this week when Cena was like, you came out here with your fly down, Reigns right away came back with busted, big dog. That was funny,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, oh yeah, Roman stepped up in this one. I think it's something interesting that Dave Meltzer said last week after the first promo was that this was kind of John's attempt to actually going shoot on him, giving him the opportunity to take hold of some of this power that Roman, it's often said about Roman Reigns that he has all this potential that he could probably mold his character the way, whatever way he wants it right now, because of how much, people say he's protected, but, you got to protect the guys that have the potential to be the top guy,
Oh, exactly.
So, now he sees that he can, John Cena last week was trying to open that up, trying to show him that he's the next guy, and at this point, Roman now realizes what he can actually go out there and do and say and get away with that other people couldn't. And this week, he really showed that. I thought that he took an opportunity that was given and ran with it.
I mean, I think the wrestling business is just one of those businesses where John Cena isn't just going to concede that top guy status just because, like,
people say Roman Reigns is the next guy.
Because Roman will be better than him. It's like it took Ric Flair forever to go away because not because, there weren't other guys that were worthy. It's just because they hadn't surpassed Ric Flair. You know what I mean? And once other guys did and they could pass, the aura that he brought, it was like, okay, now it's finally time for him to leave. If Cena is still seen as one of the top guys, he's not going to say, oh, I'm going to lesser myself just so that Roman looks better. Cena's going to say, I'm going to keep giving my best, and as long as my best on the mic, in the ring, whatever, as long as that is still better or on par with everyone else in the company, then why should I leave?
Exactly.
Roman's best, like Roman will not be the guy until his best is better than John Cena's best. So that's the way I look at it. We had a Slater and Rhino appearance. Can you believe that it was only like a year ago that Slater and Rhino were like on top of the world? They were hot.
And we were like super, like we were all on board with that, man. It was great. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think now that they're just delegated to being essentially tag team jobbers, It's sad, but they'll do whatever they got to do to get a paycheck. I mean,
every show needs it. I just didn't think that it would be Slater and Rhino so soon after. It just shows how much can change in a year in the WWE.
Well, yeah. I mean, 6 months ago, or not 6 months ago. When was Mania? 3 months ago? 4 months ago? Whatever it was.
Yeah.
We thought that after when the Revival debuted that they'd be where, Sheamus and Cesaro are position-wise now, but nowhere even close. You know what I mean?
And I mean,
things change.
Yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro seemed like such a stupid idea when it got started too. That best of 7, people were tired of it, and then now they're pretty good, man. They're pretty entertaining. I like their matches. So, hey, is what I think. Even Charlie can stomach Sheamus and Cesaro, and he hates Sheamus with a passion. So,
well, yeah.
Cesaro and Sheamus do indeed get the win. Was there something after the match? I can't even remember.
Hold on, let me look at the list. Is there anything listed?
No,
I think it was just a match, and then they were like, "Oh, we're the cool guys."
Yeah. So we had an Intercontinental title match between The Miz and Jeff Hardy. I'll reserve my opinions on this. I want to know what you thought of the match.
I thought the match was good. And I think this proves what I've been saying for a while now, is that Miz is now working so much on his in-ring ability, because he already knows he's mastered the art of the promo pretty much. Not that you can ever master it, but he's learned as much as you can without having to go out of the bounds of scripting. Now he can focus on his in-ring work, and it's really starting to show, because he went with Jeff in this match. And I mean, there wasn't any spectacular spots, but when a wrestling match, I thought this told a story. I thought this showed that Jeff is still capable of going after a singles title, that he potentially could be world champion, intercontinental champion again before his time is done. And I think this complemented Jeff's style, because it's slowed down over the years. That's obvious, because he didn't never really need to go as fast as some of these 205 guys do. So I think this just showed how great both still are, and how both of them still have long careers ahead before they're absolutely done,
See, I think I have to disagree with you on this one. I thought Miz looked great. I think it's about time, because The Miz has been around a long time now. Like, people underestimate how long he's been around, and he's been on that mid-tier, / upper tier for a while now. He's been holding steady. Whereas, I don't know. maybe it's because I liked Jeff Hardy and the Hardy Boys so much back in the day, and the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. We got the Hardy with we got the Jeff Hardy, like, no face paint. He kind of just came out to his normal, generic music and everything, which is fine, but I don't know. It's like he's trying to be the Jeff Hardy of old, but he's like limping around and holding his back, and I don't know. For me, this proved to me that Jeff Hardy doesn't belong in the main title scene again. If you want to give him an IC title run, sure, as long as he has the right opponents. But some people thinking that he was going to go for the main title and have one last run as the main champ, I think this kind of solidified. We're not going to see a Jeff Hardy pull out a classic with Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, John Cena. I don't know. I personally just can't see this Jeff Hardy having a classic with those guys. But
I think I agree with you on Jeff. I just think that the fact that, I mean, a guy, how much younger is The Miz than Jeff Hardy? I mean, not much, but I mean, I'm sure he's like, so, like,
just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, so I think if he can't, like that's what I opened my thing with. He obviously can't move the way he used to. I just think that they way underestimated how over he still is with the crowd. And I think that
Jeff Hardy is 40 and The Miz is 36. So The Miz is 4 years younger than him. I thought Jeff Hardy was older than that. Not going to lie. He looks pretty beat up.
The way he moves? Yeah, the way that he moves, you'd think he was. But no,
I mean, the guy's taken some bumps in his day.
He's taken some of the most insane bumps of all time. I mean, and we don't know what actually happened when Jeff took that 35-foot swanton or something from on TNA. We don't know what actually happened because that didn't look like that. He didn't hit the right amount of tables. He hit like one, and it was the one Matt was on, so that couldn't have been good.
Yeah, and I mean, when he went to go for the swanton and Maurice, the other thing is, I'm of the believer that The Miz won pretty clean because there was some interference to help him early on, but then Matt Hardy and The Miz Taraj both get thrown out. Maurice is left.
She kind of the spot.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what I think. Another thing Meltzer was saying, that she was supposed to like roll him out of the way, but she just squeezed his hand instead. Now you could say that that's supposed to wake him up.
She just like hit on his chest, like just smacked his chest, like, hey, get out of the way, get out of the way. I thought it was good. I mean, and that, that's what a manager's kind of supposed to do, not necessarily yank you out of the ring. So I don't know.
But she's done that before.
But anyway, when Jeff Hardy missed that swanton,
oh yeah, that looked like it would hurt. Oh.
He landed just flat, like no bounce at all, just like a guy that just he's like, you know what? It's gonna hurt either way. I'm just gonna splat. I'm not gonna try to put any technique into this bump. I'm just gonna land. I mean, it looked like it hurt, but I bet it did hurt more than other bumps that he's taken. So I don't know. Moving on. We had a cruiserweight tag match in which Enzo spoke for about 6 minutes, and the match lasted for about 5 minutes. What do you think about so it was a 6-man tag. It was Enzo Amore, Cedric Alexander, and Grand Metalik versus Tony Nese, Captain Underpants guy, and Drew Gulak. And who was the last one?
Did you say Tony Nese?
Yeah, it was Nese, Gulak, and see, like,
wow,
like one of the heels.
Oh, who was it?
But anyway, if you think of it, you can say it. But pretty much Enzo just came out. This was all about Enzo. What do you think about him doing his his announcing and announcing Grand Metalik, a legit luchador from Mexico, very well respected, announcing him as Queso Picante?
I mean, he's supposed to be a heel, right?
Enzo. See, that's the thing. Enzo is supposed to be a guy that everyone loves, but they probably shouldn't because he's kind of a dick and he kind of cheats to win.
Right. So he's like a tweener. And so it makes this feud with Neville weird.
He's like if Dean Ambrose like cheated. Like Dean Ambrose is kind of a dick too, but he's a face.
Dean Ambrose could cheat, and we'd be like, whatever.
Okay, that Enzo cheated. He's Enzo. He's that.
Well, wait, Dean has cheated. Remember, he's kicked people in the nuts before to win.
Yeah, so
it's it's just that character.
It's but anyway, so Enzo cheats to get the win. He wins. He gets an eye poke, gets the win. His teammates are like, dude, really? He's like, yeah. I work smarter, not harder. So that's his whole gimmick. I think it's good. I mean, people at least care about the cruiserweight division. Not enough to remember all 6 people in the match, but it's getting there.
I think that this is proof that with the right talker, you can make that division work, and that Neville isn't the only person. I mean, I'm thinking we're going to get some good promos between the two of them.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
The match, I have no idea.
Is there a chance? I mean, we haven't seen a good old double turn in a while, but with Enzo and Neville, we could see it.
I could see Neville playing the face again. It could happen.
Like, if it's one of those deals where, like, the crowd slowly just starts to turn on Enzo and he happens to be in a program against Neville, and they pull the trigger where Neville really gets the crowd behind him, especially if they get in one of those good towns like Chicago, one of those heel cities, I think it could work. So, I don't know. Finn Balor bores me, so I'm throwing it to you.
So, the whole point of this is just that Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt aren't done. It's stupid.
Finn Balor is like, Bray Wyatt, you jumped me and cost me my Intercontinental title shot. He came out and said, the NXT title looked pretty good on me, and the Universal title looked pretty good on me, and the Intercontinental would have looked pretty good on me, but Bray Wyatt ruined it for me. And then Bray Wyatt talked about strangling bunnies with his bare hands. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Hey, it was, you know what? It was a different Bray Wyatt promo than what we have heard. Yes. He at least spoke words, right?
That wasn't just fluff and posturing and blah, 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 blah.
It wasn't, I mean, he still called himself a god, but he wasn't like,
but it works when he actually has a story that makes you would think would like make you actually crazy, like when he talks about the stuff that he did, growing up, like anything like that, like I think that it's weird now that he's also asking Finn to not be the demon this time. I don't know if Finn would be less angry at Bray to the point where he wouldn't bring the demon back out.
Because all heels have to be cowards, and he knows that he can't beat the demon.
Right, but would Finn really be? I mean, are all babyfaces that stupid that they're just like, oh yeah, I won't take away the advantage that actually won me the match after I've lost to you with not the demon gimmick?
It's a pride thing. It's like, oh well, yeah, well I could beat you man to man too. I don't need the demon, dick.
Yeah,
but whatever. So yeah, they're not done. Women's tag match. God, what was it?
Emma and Nia versus Sasha and Alexa.
Backstage, right before this match, before the commercial, I believe, Emma and Nia are backstage. Well, Nia's backstage, and he's telling Kurt Angle that she's telling Kurt Angle.
Wow.
Sorry. She's telling Kurt Angle that she deserves a title shot over Alexa Bliss. And Kurt Angle's like, over Sasha, right? Yeah. And Kurt Angle's like, okay. And Emma's like, actually, Twitter says that I deserve the title shot. And Kurt Angle's like, fair point. You know what? You'll both get title shots if you win your match against Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks. And by God, Maggle, they actually won. So we're getting a 4-way.
Look at them go.
We're getting a 4-way. We're actually seeing an Emma title match, and some people are thinking this could actually be a transitional Emma win with Nia going and killing her like soon after. Do you see that, Garrett?
I mean, I could see that. I think that would actually help to establish that Emma's not just. Maybe that's why they are having her take all these losses so they can have her win the belt, and then lose it like a month later or something. Whatever pay-per-view after No Mercy is.
And then every time that she comes out to wrestle, even if she's jobbing out, they can say former Raw Women's Champion. Yep. Just like every time Jack Swagger wrestles, former World Heavyweight Champion.
The All-American American. What?
The All-American. I'm going to keep an eye on this hurricane, remember, bro? It's bad. Oh, South Carolina declares a state of emergency. Trump signs emergency declaration for Florida. What if Trump didn't sign the emergency declaration for Florida? He's like, you know what?
Signed it for Houston pretty quickly, too, I think.
Yeah. If he was just like, screw it.
Well, he could. I think they've done that before because I think that was a big problem that George Bush had. Anyway.
We already have 3 deaths confirmed. That's crazy.
Florida?
Over St. Martin. Yeah, dude. St. Martin got I think they said like
4, I didn't know anyone died there. I want to apologize for my joke.
Yeah, like 4 feet of water. Like the whole place is underwater.
Yeah, I saw a video of it earlier. I didn't know anyone died.
Yeah, it's nuts. 3 confirmed deaths. Probably more, so. Prayers. Even though I'm not religious. But if you're the religious type, probably be a good time. Also, if you live in Florida, remember, Saturday afternoon, everyone get your fans. I've got my fan in my room, the standalone fan. Put it like on top of your car or something. Put it in a high place. You know, get as much elevation as possible because hurricanes are high up in the air. Put it as high as possible. Point it northeast, and just put it on high. All right. If every single person in the state turns their fan on, and we could push this hurricane straight northeast, straight to Washington, D.C. We could take down Trump. Just saying. You giving me the logo, bro?
That was a you should have just gone with the hurricane joke, man.
Yeah.
I saw that post earlier.
Would have been great. I had to throw the Trump reference in at the end.
It's good.
All right. Gallows and Anderson face the tag champs. Feels good to say. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. They won. But Gallows and Anderson, I mean, they're on TV, right?
The Good Brothers always got a job, man, because they always be usable. Like you can't just
nerds.
I mean, but they will. I mean the.
Yeah, you broke up during that whole thing.
I was saying that even if they're not on a Raw, you still know they're there because they usually leave an impression.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, it was a match. And then the main event of the evening was a steel cage match between Braun Strowman and Big Show. Garriet, I'll be honest, I fell asleep before the match. I was actually kind of looking forward to it too, but I was sick all weekend in my defense. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all day I was sick. So Raw, it was like 10:15, and I was like, bro, I gotta go to bed. And I just crashed. So but I heard the crowd was super hot for this match.
Yeah, I must have my volume turned down because I didn't hear that.
I tweeted out saying that I really wanted a crossbody from the top of the cage from Braun Strowman. I don't think we got it, but
we did get spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. We did get an elbow drop from the top rope from the Big Show, which I did not think I would see him come off the top rope again. That used to be his finisher back in his WCW days, I believe.
I mean, he used to do the final cut where he used to just drop the elbow like from the standing position. I don't know if I've ever seen him. Did he like?
I think it was when he was way younger. They said something about it on the show.
Back when he was
he used to be his finisher.
Back when he was Paul White or the Giant.
Something like that, yeah.
So did he like soar
Yeah,
Or
he
did he kind
jumped.
of fall?
He fell, but he also did leap a little bit. Like
Okay.
I almost wonder if they didn't want him to because he only leaped a little bit. So I don't, because I honestly, I feel like him just falling is worse than him just having a little bit of control on the way down with a little bit of force, because then you're just falling full force onto his chest.
When you have two guys that big, they can do a simple move to each other and be fine. One thing I thought was funny that I saw on Twitter, they did a spot where they both knocked each other down right before it went to commercial, and the entire 3-minute commercial break was them just laying on the ground. They never did
It's
anything
called a
else.
break spot, yo. You don't have him on Raw or on
Yeah,
SmackDown
but
anymore because of the picture in
usually
picture.
don't just let them lay there for 3 minutes. It's a long time.
They're selling each other's offense.
I guess.
They're two giant guys that theoretically would hurt each other a lot more because they weigh more. I don't know. There's some physics about it.
Anyway, what would you grade Raw?
Let's see. Let me look at the list. I'll factor it all together in my head. All right, so John Cena's stuff was pretty good. 2 good, decent tag matches. A pretty good IC title match. Finn Balor stuff was weird. Women's stuff was okay. Gallows and Anderson were good, and the Steel Cage match was solid. I'd probably give it a C+.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give it a C. It's average. I thought I thought the Cena, Jordan, and Reigns stuff was really good. The Enzo segment lasted a little long for my liking, and Jeff Hardy, Miz wasn't what I hyped it up to be in my mind. But other than that, solid show. So I'll give it a solid C. Going over to SmackDown Live. Once again, been getting over a sickness, so I just saw little bits and pieces here.
Ooh.
Exactly. So we had Carmella, who was she going to face again? Natalia. Yeah. So Carmella, who was set to face Natalia, came down, and Kevin Owens decides he wants to be special guest referee. I thought this was great. After seeing what they did the week before, I'm really glad they decided to go this, like, Kevin Owens loves being a special guest ref.
Yeah. It's his new favorite job.
And so he comes out, he's like, I'm going to be the special guest referee. And Shane McMahon comes out and he's like, no, you're not. And Kevin Owens unleashes, they go back and forth for a little bit. Kevin Owens unleashes a sick burn saying that helicopter crash that you were in, which Shane McMahon was. He's like, your whole family would have been a lot better off had you not survived that helicopter crash, especially your kids. And Shane McMahon just pops him a couple times. They start brawling on the outside. Shane McMahon's whipping dad ass. And people eventually come out, break it up, including Daniel Bryan and a bunch of scrawny referees. So
I love too that out of the announcing, the only person to try and get involved was Corey. Even though technically Saxton could have because he was also a wrestler, but he's been out of the wrestling longer than Corey has, I believe. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Pictures of Saxton, he used to look good, bro. He was
dude, he had a look. He just I don't know how good his wrestling work was, but
and he's got a good smile.
He could play a decent babyface. He just team him up with I don't know who's another guy that does good smiles and doesn't have really a whole lot of character. Apollo Crews. I
feel like Saxton, like if they could do an angle with a wrestler where like you had a really good heel superstar,
dude, Kevin Owens,
that was like paying off Byron Saxton. Okay, they were like paying off Byron Saxton in order to get like the inside edge because Byron has like all this pull backstage or something. Like this heel that wasn't getting what they wanted. So they were like forcing Byron to do a bunch of crap for him. And Byron was like he's like the prisoner, but he was doing all these things against his will until finally Byron can have a baby face that he can turn to come in and conquer this guy. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it could work. I mean, I just don't. I'm trying to think of guys on SmackDown right now that fit that description that are around the same size as Saxton. Because you can tell when his suit, he still keeps himself in shape. Like.
No, I don't think they have to be the same size, like at all.
Well, I was thinking Corbin, but I thought the size differential would be too much.
No, I think it should be a size differential. Like Corbin could be all right. I don't know if Corbin's really the guy for it though.
Yeah,
And
I don't know.
also, people would throw the race card into it.
Yeah.
So it would be hard to have a white guy bossing a black guy around.
It could be Titus if it was still on Raw.
That's true. Titus was trying to get a career resurgence, and he was forced.
That would fit right into the Titus brand stuff too. You know.
Yeah, he was salty that other people were getting the pushes in his brand before.
Dude, Apollo Crews heel turn has him attack Saxon for him because he won't give him inside knowledge anymore.
Or Titus starts forcing Byron to do crap for him, and Apollo starts like feeling bad for Byron, and then rebels against Titus. You go into a feud, and Apollo can get over on Titus. No one cares if Titus loses at this point, but if you did it right, Apollo could get a pretty good rub out of that, and people could actually like Byron in some capacity.
I like Byron. I think he's just underappreciated because he just is not. He's an okay commentator. You know, they don't give him enough lines really to get him to be.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's just there.
He makes a lot of you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Naomi will come out and he'll be like, "I love glow in the dark things."
Yeah,
that's kind of it. It's like what? So yeah. We had Carmella versus Natalya then. James Ellsworth ends up getting up on the apron, dropping the briefcase in the ring. It looks like he wanted to cash it in for Carmella, and she's like, "No, what are you doing?" Throws it back at him. Natty rolls up. Carmella gets the pin. Is Natty doing anything as champ for you?
Not really. I mean, they said it had been like 7 years since she'd won the belt. I mean, I'm glad that she's still relevant enough to warrant winning the belt. I just don't.
I could have gone another 7 without seeing it.
I don't know if I'll go that far. I mean, she does deserve to be champion. I just think she needs someone like Becky Lynch or Charlotte that can really like. I mean, Naomi's no slouch, but she doesn't really. And then Carmella's style doesn't really suit someone like Natalya, who's more technical. I just don't know. Like there's just not as many combinations as you would think would actually work. So I think she's just going to transition somebody in. I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe Tamina. But that doesn't really work heel on heel. I don't know. It really depends. I
don't want to see Tamina anywhere near the title scene.
Well,
that's just rough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We had. We'll go to it later. Well, actually, no, we can talk about it now. So then backstage, Carmella tells James Ellsworth, she's like, "All right." First they had a segment where she was like, "No, we're done." Ellsworth's like, "What?" And then later on in the night, she's like, "All right, James, for now on, we're doing things my way." And he's like, "Okay." And then Big Cass is steaming somewhere because Carmella gives James Ellsworth a nice, 10-second long smooch and then proceeds to slap him right across the face. Did you expect this?
No, I don't understand. Does that mean that James was the reason why they weren't, romantically involved? Oh,
my God. Ellsworth was friend-zoning Carmella?
That would actually be pretty funny. It's kind of funny that they went that way with it.
That would
subverting
be
expectations. Social norms, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting developments. I don't know if it's gonna really play into anything other than maybe Carmella is gonna be like maybe he'll be more dedicated. He won't screw up as much now that he's actually got her. I don't know. It's interesting.
I think that Ellsworth was getting too much of the shine, and when Carmella cashes in, WWE wants it to be known that it was Carmella's doing, not Ellsworth's doing. You know what I mean? Because I think Vince would like to just cut Ellsworth at some point out and just let Carmella shine. But right now, I don't know how Carmella would do without him. They're a package deal right now. I think they're building towards her not needing him. So they got to make her seem more.
Isn't that interesting that we all thought Ellsworth was this inexperienced guy, but he actually does have a little bit of mic skill that he's picked up on the road, and he's got he's got the in-ring ability to just have an average match, so
or at least get destroyed.
Right, he can do a good squash, which is what you need in a guy like him, and he will have a way bigger asking price now when he leaves the company, when he goes back to the independent circuit, and he may even come back one day under a different.
Yeah, absolutely. So, talking about the next.
I'm on TV anymore.
Yeah, you're cutting out. Talking about the next segment, Dolph Ziggler has a re-debut of sorts. So, from what I could tell, did he debut like 3 different times? Did he he's a kid like
he walked out to his regular music,
right?
And he gave his little speech. Then he walked back to the back, came out to John Cena's music with a Dolph Ziggler towel, and he said like "buy this" or something like that. A bunch of lines like "yeah, it's SmackDown Live," and then he was like, "oh, that wasn't good enough," so he left and went to the back.
I know he came out in Naomi's gear and did a slide.
He came out as the Macho Man next, with a female on his arm and everything. And after that, he went back up to back one more time and did the Naomi thing, and gave another speech, and then he went away, and it was just awful. It wasn't worth the build-up of 2 weeks. I get what he's trying to say. This is Ziggler talking, or this is whatever Dolph Ziggler's actual name is, not the character Dolph Ziggler talking, saying, oh yeah, everyone just gets over on these stupid gimmicks now, then no one actually has any character and wrestling ability. And
this is right for like 6 years, though. That's my issue. That's all he does over and over again. Dolph Ziggler disappears, and then he shows up and goes, "Wah, I'm underappreciated. I deserve more recognition. I'm great in the ring. I'm athletic." And then he gets a push, gets like a title match, and then disappears again. And he has his never-ending cycle. It's just like the Bray Wyatt cycle. Like if they would actually do something different with them just once, maybe people will get back interested in them. But how many times can you cry wolf before people are like, all right, we're sick of this?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's right.
So many.
Aiden English beat your boy Sami Zayn in about 30 seconds. Tell us about it.
Well, that was all there really was to it. I don't know if it was 30 seconds. It was some short time. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't know what their plans for Sami Zayn are, if any exist. It doesn't really seem like there's a coordinated plan. I guess maybe they're trying to bury him into oblivion so that he can have the underdog character that he's built so much on the indies. But, like, my thought is people already get that he's the underdog character. He plays that character. So why they have to compound upon that over and over and over and over again, have him lose to everybody, literally everybody, even people that aren't in relevant feuds right now, just people that are randomly on the shows are beating Sami now. And I don't understand what the point of that is, other than maybe to build up this persona of he always loses, but when he gets the wins is when it counts. Kind of like his NXT title win, like,
yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like if they're going to do that, it can't be with the main belt, because then there's nothing to build up to as the underdog because he's already reached the top. So they're going to have to do it with the U.S. title. Maybe that's where they're going next. Maybe AJ will face Sami Zayn. I would buy into that match completely just for the match. I just don't know if that's where they're going or not. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I'm with like Sami is a confusing thing. I don't know where they're going, which is fine. I don't know. It's better than being predictable, right?
Right. But it also, so many times, even in the last year, we've seen when you can't predict it, sometimes they go with the thing that you're like, what is going on?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just playing we'll wait and see. Aiden English isn't bad. Sami Zayn's pretty good. So, whatever. The real question is, I didn't see this, but did Aiden English have the GOAT theme song still?
I think I fast forwarded through the intros on this one so that I could catch up.
Yeah, but then he won.
Yeah, no, I won. I
like as soon as it ended, you were like,
right. as soon as I caught up to the show was right when the bell rang. I was like, oh sweet,
like, hey. All right. We had we saw last week that the Usos beat the New Day, and so they get to pick the stipulation for the tag team match at Hell in a Cell, and they picked something weird, right? They picked like a
street fight for next week.
A Vegas, oh, sorry, not for Hell in a Cell, yeah. Picked like a Vegas street fight, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna be in Vegas.
Which then, between the two teams, I mean, that's gonna work,
If you had to pick a city to have a street fight in, Garrett, which one would it be?
Probably Boston, maybe.
Why?
Maybe New York. Just the what do they call that area? New England area. The people, it's like they don't. It's. I guess other than that, it'd be like Texas, right? The people you don't mess with.
Throw fish at each other.
Is that what you guys do? I don't.
In New England, yeah, it's all about fish, bro. It's what we like. It's all about lobsters. Grab a lobster and have
fish and patriotism, huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Quincy Market. You ever go to Boston? Just hang out in Quincy Market all day. Greatest place on earth.
All right.
But I mean, I'm down with whatever they're doing with New Day and Usos. It's not boring to me yet. The Usos are just. They're one of the few people that, like, if I'm watching SmackDown on mute, I will turn the sound on when they come out because I like their theme song so much.
Do we have the potential to see the first 5-star street fight?
We've had other good street fights, right? Well, not 5-star.
Have been 5-star ratings? I don't think Meltzer doesn't even really give ratings for these matches. I don't feel like
Meltzer doesn't give anything a rating above 3 except for New Japan because he's a damn weeboo.
Wow. All right.
Hey, just saying, bro. No,
it's true.
I can't remember who it was. Wade Keller, maybe one of those dirt sheet guys said that he prefers to watch the WWE pay-per-views on Japanese commentary. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but that is going too far. When you are that involved in Japanese culture to where you think that everything Japanese is better than everything American, just move there, bro.
Right. There are Americans that live in Japan. It doesn't happen. Well, maybe don't move there yet. Move there in a year or two.
It's fine. If you love New Japan that much, just move there. It's this elitist mentality of I don't know. It's like if people, it's not this drastic, but it's like if all of a sudden watching the WNBA was the cool thing to do because everyone else liked watching the NBA.
Right. It's like wrestling hipsterism.
And people are like, and if you made the argument well, the fundamentals in the WNBA are just so solid and they just know how to shoot with such precision and grace, whereas the NBA is just dunks and hip hop and Showtime stuff.
Women's college basketball is no joke, though.
Well,
I'm just saying.
It's a joke outside. Stanford, UConn, Notre Dame. Is that it? Those are the 3 teams, and Baylor. Outside those 4 teams, it is a joke. If you watch the NCAA tournament, the women's bracket, go watch some of those games that are supposedly the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. They're 50-point blowouts.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But the good games, but the playoffs are always really interesting. Those.
Yeah, which the men's game is like that too. No, but not with the 1s versus 4s necessarily. But yes, Duke and North Carolina always get Kansas always get the top recruits, but the number 50 recruit in a class isn't necessarily that much worse than the number 10 recruit in the class. Women's college basketball, 10 to 50 is astronomical talent gap. So, I don't know how we started talking about women's basketball, but Shane McMahon got suspended officially by his dad, Vince McMahon, and we found out that Vincent Kennedy McMahon will be on SmackDown next week. Everybody on Twitter was saying that SmackDown looks like it's going to be pretty stacked next week. Are you excited?
Oh, dude, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Going to get a street fight from the New Day. We're going to get.
It's going to be in Vegas, so they always do something cool.
Honestly, the stupidest gimmick of all time was that wheel of matches or whatever. If they actually put some, actual good stipulations on it,
I love that.
I thought it was good, but they never had any good stipulations on it. It was like an Extreme Rules type match, and then like a regular match, a Falls Count Anywhere match, and then like superstars getting drafted and stuff or whatever.
Bring back the Judy Bagwell on a forklift match, bro.
I mean, I'm just saying, like you could do something like that in Vegas. I mean, obviously they're not doing that, but
can we do the Cash Me Outside girl hanging from a pole match?
Dude,
not by her neck, like just like hanging, by like
dude
her waist.
She's like underage.
Dude, she's probably 18 by now. How old is the Cash Me Outside girl? Let me see.
How about it?
She celebrated turning 14 with a head full of braids this year. Okay, never mind. I guess
14-year-old girl on a pole match. Wow.
Yeah, that would be a little weird, dude. Dude, Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor with Cash Me Outside girl on a pole match. Ooh, Cash Me Outside girl in a shark cage. Gotta make use of that.
And the winner, and it's on a crane, and the winner gets to drive the crane away.
Well, you know what would be really funny? Speaking of cranes, if they went in Las Vegas, they had like a competition between Sami Zayn and Aiden English playing all of the arcade games, like doing the crane game and then doing like the throw the ring over the beer bottle game. If they like had a little vignette with like those two going and being competitive with each other in Vegas,
that would be great. And
then bonding over karaoke.
Dude, that could be an underdog team. Be awful, the name,
Can we get a segment with like you think we're gonna get a Breezango going to the breakfast buffet segment?
I don't know what they're doing with them because we've had 3 weeks now since NXT TakeOver, right? Or 2 weeks at least. Anyway, 2 or 3 weeks, and we still have 0 Authors of Pain, which leads me to believe they're probably not coming until after Survivor Series, but or at least after the next pay-per-view, maybe. I don't know, because you'd think they would have come up straight up, especially when they set up that segment last week, but they didn't go with it. And we didn't get any announcement on any fashion files next week. They could just do a surprise one like they do, but yeah, I don't know.
They got to make us want it, bro.
Yeah, and what is it they say? Absence make the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, they're pacing. They're pacing. A distance makes the heart grow.
And I love Breezango, so they're great, man.
Good. But anyway, Shane McMahon has been suspended indefinitely by Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon is going to come to SmackDown next week and take things up with Kevin Owens directly. It's pretty obvious we're getting Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon in a Hell in a Cell match. I don't know what the stip will be. I'm hoping that it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. Whoever wins that match becomes commissioner, and then KO wins and becomes commissioner of SmackDown. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
Or the winner becomes all-time referee for every match on SmackDown. Because that's what KO really wants.
The winner, but I'm trying to think of other stipulations you could throw on that. It could just be that loser leaves SmackDown Live or something, and so like either Shane goes back to his businesses or KO goes to Raw or something. I don't know, because I don't know what they have for KO other than Shane McMahon at this point over there. Like, where do you put him?
Ooh, if Kevin Owens wins, then Stephanie McMahon becomes the new commissioner, and Shane goes.
Ooh, yeah, because Triple H is, or Triple H becomes the new commissioner or something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
some authority move because he's in their interests.
Because Kevin Owens loves Shane.
Dude, an authority invasion of SmackDown angle is what I've been going for. I was hoping that's what we would get this week. That Vince McMahon's call was going to be that Triple H is the new one. They're saving that, I think, because I think either if it's going to be Triple H or it's going to obviously be Stephanie because she's been gone for a while. It'd be interesting if she came over as the SmackDown commissioner, and then like maybe Triple H showed up on Raw the next week. I'm
pretty ready for Triple H and Stephanie to start showing back up. They were getting.
The thing is, I kind of want them to be on the same show because I think Kurt Angle honestly could be Raw's commissioner and GM at the same time, and people would be okay with that.
Agreed. I think Raw's fine as far as authority figures, but Daniel Bryan is kind of meh, and so is Shane as far as like commissioners and stuff. But Anyway, we had Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger. Baron Corbin got the win, but Ty Dillinger impressed AJ Styles enough to earn himself a U.S. title match next week. That'll probably be the main event. So what do you think about Dillinger versus Styles for the title as the main event next week?
I think that's good. I think that's really great that we've now had like 2 or 3, maybe 4 main events with AJ's title being on the line.
Wait, hold on. What do you think would be a better decision for them? One of the segments starting and one of the segments ending the show. Would you rather start with Mr. McMahon and end with this match, or start with the match and end with Mr. McMahon?
I think I'd rather start with this match and end with Mr. McMahon, because I think that's going to carry more weight across the show, and they can throw more segments than they can about this title match.
That's true. That's true. Because then they can always do the showing Vince McMahon rolling up to the building in the limo, and
yeah, like they have the last match on the card, which that can be the street fight or something. That could be the actual main event. And then have that blow off, and then have a show seeming like it's going off, and then the limousine, and then like a few minutes later we get the no chance.
Ooh, in the middle of the street fight, Vince McMahon runs over the New Day trying to get to the arena in his limo.
Why has he got to run over the black guys?
You went there, not me. Just saying. Nakamura versus Orton headlined. The winner of this gets a title match against Jinder Mahal at Hell in a Cell. Thank God Nakamura won. We did not want Mahal Orton 17. So Nakamura won. I think it's about time to put the belt on Nakamura at Hell in a Cell. That's the only reason they would do this match, right?
Yeah, I would think so. They gave Jinder the one rub of getting the win against him by cheating. And I think there's going to be some big spot in this match where Nakamura takes out both of the Singh brothers at the same time, and it doesn't distract him. Like, he overcomes everything. Big babyface win. I mean, this is, it's time, I think. I think Nakamura, and I think it's why Cena said don't be sorry, because he knows where Nakamura is about to go to. He knows that Nakamura is about to be beyond anything we've ever seen in terms of top guy material, like, and now maybe in Roman Reigns.
And now that Cena is off SmackDown, this can set up Nakamura and AJ Styles being our 2 champions, whether they want to turn it into a champion versus champion match at some point, or whether they want to turn it into Styles eventually drops the title. Maybe them both being champions gives WWE a reason to tell the fans, like, well, we're not going to put them against each other because we want them both defending their titles against different people. So that gives them an excuse as well to keep the titles on both of them. And then once Styles loses it, he can then go after the main title, something along those lines. So
literally, AJ could drop the belt at a pay-per-view and come out the next night in the opening promo and be like, so I know you guys want me to fight Shinsuke,
But, I want to bring, who knows, maybe they could have a friendly competition of which title is the better title, and both of them could run train on everybody else for a long time until they had to face each other.
Yeah.
Currently Styles keeps running through all the competition, and so does Styles, and eventually the only people that they have left to face is each other.
I just hope they don't pull the trigger too soon and have Corbin win the belt off of Styles and then go straight into Styles Nakamura. Because I feel like it'd be I'd still watch it and still be into it, but I feel like it's too soon. I feel like that's a Survivor Series match.
Jesus, dude. An underground explosion has been reported in the Hyde Park area of Los Angeles. Oh, never mind. Okay. It was in the middle of a road. It was a gas explosion. No injuries reported. Jesus.
Where?
In Los Angeles.
Wow.
It was in the middle of the street. It looked like a manhole cover, like some gas backed up in the sewer or something. Really weird.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So anyway, grades for SmackDown. I mean, like I said, I hopped in and out of it, but I didn't see anything particularly bad with the show. I think I'd probably give it a solid B.
Yeah, let's see. Carmella stuff, all the KO stuff was good. Carmella's stuff is intriguing. Dolph Ziggler was kind of a down for me.
I like how they kept the KO and Shane McMahon stuff throughout the entire show.
Sami Zayn was a down. They could have done more with the tag stipulation. They could have stretched it out more and used it for the pay-per-view, but they don't have to do that. Shane McMahon, like I said, that stuff was good. Corbin stuff, Dillinger stuff, you know, building up towards Corbin versus Styles, and then Nakamura versus Orton stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got to give it a B plus because there's you know, there wasn't anything particularly down on this show other than the Ziggler stuff, which was just kind of all over the place. No, oh, we didn't even talk about it. Bobby Roode got cut from the show.
Oh yeah.
He got announced before the commercial break, and they came back and they went straight into Nakamura.
Interesting. Maybe they're just short on time.
Yeah, that's what it was like. It was like what time does it go off? It was like 9:35 or whatever, or 10:35, whatever time SmackDown is about, like half an hour out to going off.
They wanted to make sure they got to the Mr. McMahon announcement, you know.
Yeah, so they had to save some time, but that's okay because I'm sure Bobby Roode will be in a, you know, he'll have time next week. They tend to do that.
I mean, so next week, I mean, they'd have to really try for next week to be a bad week because we've got the street fight, we've got Dillinger Styles, we've got Mr. McMahon showing up, we've got more stuff with Carmella and Ellsworth. You know, there's always the chance of a Carmella cash in now that Natty's champ.
Potential fashion files. You could potentially have them forcing a segment with Bobby Roode on there since they cut him this week, because usually they do that when they cut something. They usually give someone more time. And
it's only 2 hours, so they don't have to put in an hour of filler like Raw seems to do every week. So they'd have to try for it to be bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, that'll do for this week. Charlie and I will be back tomorrow after the Big Brother live double eviction. And I'm pretty tired, man. I didn't get to bed till like 2 a.m. last night watching all this hurricane stuff. Probably going to do the same tonight. So what's your plans for the night, Garrett?
Probably watch some news stuff on like either, I don't know, Fox or CNN or something, and then
aggressively dab yourself to sleep.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, click the bell so you know when we go live, and we will catch you guys next time. Peace.